عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما. اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. آمين يا رب العالمين. So here we are with our session number 246 for Quranic Arabic grammar, in which we are learning Nahu and Sarf of Surah Al-Fath. And Alhamdulillah, I think we have covered almost quite a bit of surah, and we are towards the middle to the end of it, inshallah. So let's just begin. Um, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the last session, we were up till ayah number 21, I think. And today we are going to start with Walau qatalakumul lazina. So are we ready? So I hope people are ready to answer. So what do you see in front of your screens? Your screen has a verse from Surah Al-Fath, verse number 22, starting with Waw, and you are all calling this Waw istinaf. So yes, it can be istinaf, yeah. And after Waw istinaf, the sentence that comes is going to be Jumlatul istinafiya, and that Jumla in terms of mahal, or in terms of status, is going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, because every jumla istinafiya, every jumla ibtidaiya is going to be la mahalla laha min al-i'rab, and so is this sentence as well. So when you see low, what comes to your mind? How many types of low have we covered in our course? Three, okay. Some say four. Very good job. So four is the number that I remember. So yeah, yes, four sounds almost right, right? So can you remind me what are the different types of law that we have covered? One is shartiya, right? One is shartiya, then ghair jazima, right? And then no. It's not zarfiya. It's not zarfiya. It's always going to be harf. It can never be a zarf. Remember that. So law can be shartiya, ghair jazima, right? Two for the simple ones, yes, and four deep dives. Yes, absolutely correct. So one is low shartiya, and the second one, if you can tell me, is low masdariya, right? Low masdariya, right? And then sometimes we may see in some cases that there can be low that is zaida. Do you remember that? Low can be zaida, and that type of low is followed by jumla haliya, right? And sometimes the purpose of low is just to to express a wish without setting a condition. So it can be low tamanni ghair shartiya, right? So let me quickly show you the slides that I have prepared for you always. So inshallah, um, here. And if for everyone, how many types everyone should know? Aisha, you have written down how many types everyone is expected to know of low. You already wrote it. The two types, right? Two types everyone should know, right? And those two types is shartiya, and masdariya, right? Either low can be shartiya and the other one is low masdariya. Where do you expect to see low masdariya? Now that we are starting the topic of low, let's take a deep dive real quick, inshallah. Because this is my advanced class and I take great pride in this class. So, low masdariya, vadda yavaddu. Very good job, Sister Serena. Very well done. I expect to see low masdariya after fail vadda yavaddu. Vadda yavaddu. So for this is so everyone should know by now that low masdariya, I'm expecting to see this low after fail vadda yavaddu. So this low that is following fail yavaddu is going to be called low masdariya. It is going to be translated as unmasdariya. It is going to be masdar al muawwal, that is going to be mafulun bihi for fail vadda yavaddu. How many of you will understand this and have understood and are going to take that information in and apply this in Quran, inshallah? Yawaddu ahaduhum. Every one of them wishes, desires, law yu'ammaru alfa sanatin. that he be given 1000 years of life. So this law yu'ammaru alfa sanatin is going to be masdar al-mu'awwal fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi for fail yabaddu. You got it? Right? Similarly, wadda kasirum min ahli al-kitabi, many of people, many from the Ahle Kitab wish, desire, law yurdunakum, that they turn you all. They turn you all min badi imanikum kuffara, that they make you all turn after your belief back to kufr, hasadam min indi anfusihim, out of envy, out of jealousy from within themselves. So what do they wish? They wish to return you all back to kufr, right? So this masdar al muawwal that started with law followed by fi'l mudare is going to be fi mahalli nasbin mafulun bihi for fi'l wadda, right? So then you have learned in the short series that it can be sometimes the purpose of love can be just to express a desire without setting a condition, right? And this is the case when you will notice that there is no jawab after law. There's a law, there's a sentence after it, but there is no jawab. And some say, some also include this type in law shartiya as well. That is why I just want each and every one of you at least to know the two types, the first two types. So according to the other grammarians, this may be just law shartiya without jawab mentioned in there. This law tamanni is going to be accompanied very much with fa'us sababiya. Remember, one of the conditions for fa'us sababiya is that it follows tamanna, taraji, right? It fa'us sababiya comes after nafi, tamanni, taraji, right? Amr, talb, and among the different types of asalibu talb, tamanni and taraji is one of them, right? So this law, you will expect to see it accompanied by faus sababiya, and here you are seeing fanakuna. Why is the mudare mansoob? Because fa is faus sababiya, after which there is an unhidden always, right? And again, law anna lana karratan fanatabarra'a. Here again, there is faus sababiya. How do I know that this is faus sababiya? What is the giveaway for faus sababiya? Can anyone tell me? If you are awake, alert, oriented times three. What is happening here? Why is mudare mansoob? What made mudare mansoob after fa? No, is it fa itself, or there is something hidden after fa? There is unmudmira, right? Unmudmira after fa, which has made mudare mansoob, and this fa, fa sababiya, has un after it, which makes mudare mansoob, right? The mudare is mansoob bi unmudmira, right? Fashabi, Aisha, have you all recall that? Alhamdulillah. Sometimes it may not be there, so you may not see faus sababia, but it is there is the giveaway is that mostly you will see it accompanied by faus sababia. You will see it with faus sababia after it. Okay, so it is law tamanni ghair shartiya, and then there is law zaida, after which you see something, a sentence which can be the hal, which can be a hal. In that case, you just label wow as halia, low you call zaida, and jumla is going to be jumlatul halia fi mahalli nasbin. And let me explain how this worked. Wala tankihul mushrikati hatta yu'minna. You do not marry mushrikat. Wala amatum mu'minatun khairum min mushrika. And surely a believing slave woman is better than mushrika. Walau ajabatkum. Even if the mushrika, you find her amazing, you find her pleasing, you find her good, even if you like mushrika, okay, even if she pleases you, but still believing women is better, so marry believing women, right? So this sentence, law ajabatkum, this whole sentence, isn't it coming up as a hal, or whatever has been mentioned before? that don't marry mushrikat, even if even if you like them, even if you are in a condition that you like them, don't marry them because they don't have faith, right? So this waw halia, law zaida, jumlatul halia fi mahalli nasbin, hal for the believers, that even you believers are amazed by these mushrikat, they should not marry them still. Okay, and there's this type of low zaida you will find many times after it, akana mahzuf, walau kana bishikki tamra ittakun nar, save yourself from the fire, walau, even with a date, even with a date. But there bishikti tamaratin, you don't have kana mentioned after law. Most of the time you will find that the kana is mahzuf. And why I put that in my slide was because there are many hadiths that I have seen where this law has been used. So it will help you understand the hadith better if you know the Arabic of that hadith, right? So remember, for each and every one of you, it was mandatory to know the first two types. If you have not memorized those two types, you very bad. It's about the course is about to end, and we are going to move on. And it's about time to focus on those things. But make sure you do. Okay, there's still some time, and give yourself a chance and try hard. And inshallah, it's going to be very very easy. At least know the first two types. If you don't, then focus and again try. And for those of you who have already are well versed with the first two types, go on to understand the other types as well. Okay, so there were some facts that I have mentioned on my slide about law shartiya. When the law is shartiya, remember the jawab of law, what is it going to have? What do you remember about the jawab of law? What letter do we? Yes, it is going to be when there is law, it is going to, the jawab is going to be with starting with lam, and the name for this lam is going to be lamul waqia fi jawabu shart. Lamul waqia fi jawabu shart, right? The name of the lam that accompanies the jawab of law is lamul waqia. I want every one of you to know this lam by now. Sometimes you are going to see this lam, and sometimes it may not be there. Even you may have learned it that if jawab is negative, lam is never going to be there, right? We all have learned it very many times. When the jawab is negative in Suratul Mulk, I focused on this point very very much. I remember this ayah from Suratul Mulk, ayah 10 of Suratul Mulk, that we are supposed to recite every night before we go to bed. لو كنا نسمع أو نعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. My jawab was starting with ma nafiya. Do I need lam? Lamul Wakia? No, I do not. And it is not there. I will never see it there. Okay, it's never there in Quran. In Quran, I will never see it. Okay, when it is a positive jawab, it is a positive jawab. Like in case of walau kana min indi ghairillahi la wajadu fihi ikhtilafan kathira. Lam is there. Lamul Wakia is there. The next example, law nasha'u ja'alnahu ujaja. If we would have wished, we would have made it ujaja. So here, do you see any lam? Lamul waqia is not there. So lamul waqia may be there, it may not be there. When the jawab is a positive sentence, when a jawab is a negative sentence, lam is never going to be there, right? It is possible that after law, sometimes the fail sabata is mahzuf. The fail is not mentioned there, right? And you have masdarul mu'awwal, which is the file of the omitted fail. This point, we have covered that in the past as well. Law, law, shartiya can be followed by paus sababiya, right? And some, if they don't find any jawab after this law that is followed by paus sababiya, they call this law tamanni ghair shartiya. Law shartiya has a association with an mukhaffafa. When you were learning an mukhaffafa, you noticed that in Quran it may be preceded by an mukhaffafa, right? If there is an an before law, you think about an mukhaffafa min an thaqila, right? And its ism is always mahzuf, and its khabar is going to be starting with law, right? the law istaqamu ala tariqati, right? And the whole jumla shartiya and jawab is going to be qabru an mukhaffafa min anna thaqila. Am I going too fast? Am I good? My speed is good for you all to understand, because it's a lot of information since most of you have covered it. So it may not be too fast for you guys, but everyone other than Aisha, what about the rest of the sisters? It's okay? Okay. Okay, so then sometimes you will find between low and qasam, between low and qasam, you can find an an, that is an zaida. One of the places of an zaida I have taught you is between qasam and low shartiya and wallahi an al low. So if you see an after a qasam, that an is going to be considered an zaida and it's not going to be considered an mukhaffafa. Keep that in mind. Okay. So this fourth type of low, this one. So this is, when you are, in many cases in Quran, Diba, you have seen this construction. Walau ajabatkum. And literally with this word. And in Maida, the same thing is happening. La yastabil khabisu wa tayyibu. The khabis, the filth is not the same. Is it shart following Fausababia? Oh yeah. So the point, this one, okay, this one, it can be followed by Fausababia. See, low, when you there are two ways to deal with this low. Okay, this low that is accompanied by Faus Sababiya, Fanakuna, and does not have Jawab mentioned, you can consider it low tamanni ghair shartiya, or you can still consider it low shartiya with Jawab mahzoof. Is this clear now? Despite it being accompanied by Paus Sababiya, you can just say that yes, it is Tamanni Shartiya with Jawab Mahzoof. Okay, you are expressing a desire with the Jawabu Shart Mahzoof. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you, and let's just continue then. Any other questions? I think we have reviewed the low, everything almost, the 6 points of low, and the rest I think is we have already gone over. So here let's see among the four types, and mainly the two types. If you see walau qatalakum, what do you think? This is low shartiya or masdariya? What do you think this is going to be? Dilruba, look carefully. With halia, with halia, you are going to notice that there is no jawab most of the time. 99% of the time it is going to be without any jawab. In case of law qatalakumul ladina kafaru lawallawul adbar. Here, this is a very plain simple law. This is your law shartiya because it has its jawab mentioned. For both tamanni, for both law tamanni and halia, you will notice there is no jawab. But here, when you have a jawab, it's easy. It's shartiya. Just call it shartiya. Is this clear? Diluba, right? So this is, just call it law shartiya, and this is going to be your jumla shartiya from starting from qatalakum, qatalakumul lazina kafaru, and then this is starting your, from the lam is going to be your jawab. And if I asked you the status of your jawab, what will be the status? La muhalla laha min al-i'rab. Always, because law is from adatu shart ghair jazima, right? Always jawab is going to be, no matter what comes with jawab, it is always la muhalla laha min al-i'rab. So from starting from qatala huwa qatala, right? Fail madin, kum is your mafulun bihi, kaf is your damirul qatab, damir muttasil, kaful khitab, mabni ala dam, fi mahalli nasb, right? Because it is your maful, Meme is there to denote masculine plural. Meme is Jamai Zakur. Allazina kafaru. Allazina, what will be the status of Allazina? It's a Mosul. Very good job. It is acting as it is rough in status because it is an outside doer for huwa qatala. Huwa qatala, allazina kafaru is the outside doer. So huwa is cancelled and allazina is fi mahalli raf'in. And after ism mausul, you are seeing silatul mausul. That is also always going to be without any i'rab. It has no status. It is la mahalla laha min al i'rab. It is jumla fi'liya, and file in fail kafaru is going to be wabil jamaa, right? The file is damir muttasil baris wabil jamaa, right? In case of lam you already know, this is lamul waqiya fi jawabul shart. And wallau again is fail madin, and wow is going to be your file, and this is fail madin jumla failya, right? Fail madin jumla failya, and the file here is wabil jamaa, right? Wabil jamaa. And al adbara is going to be mafulun bihi for fail wallow, right? Summa summa is going to be at litartib wa tarahi, right? What is the meaning of tarahi? What have we learned about summa? Latency. Very good job. It is going to show a delay. It is like fa, but it shows a delay. It is going to show you the sequence of events. First, they will turn away their backs. Then you will never find, you will then they will not find, they will turn away their backs, then they will not find any ally and nor any helper, right? But there is always a delay with summa. In case of fa, the time interval between events is shorter, right? The things are happening at a quick succession, but with summa there is a delay, right? Then comes your la. Again, it is going to be a harf غير عاملة نافية للمضارع. لا نافية للمضارع. And يجدون it is فعل مضارع. علامة المضارع ya, right? Ya is in the beginning is علامة المضارع. Wow is your fa'il, right? And the status of wow is going to be, what is the status of wow? It is rough. But why is it not showing its rough status by adamma? What is problem? No. I'm talking about the damir. I'm talking about the damir because if a damir is a doer, every doer is rough in status. But why wow is not showing its rough status by the presence of dhamma? The reason Afshan has beautifully given that this is all pronouns are going to be non-flexible. They're always mabni. All pronouns are mabni, non-flexible, right? But the status of wow, which is a doer pronoun in fail yajiduna, is going to be rough because all doers are rough in status. In fail yajiduna, if I asked you the status of the fail, what is the status of fail? It is marfu and bisabutin. How do you know that it is rough in status? It is marfu bisabutin noon لأنه من الأفعال الخمسة. 5 أفعال. What are the special thing about those 5 أفعال that show their rough status by noon? What do they have? What are the afalul khamsa? Who can remind me? What are the afalul khamsa? Alif, ya, and what is the third pronoun that these afal have? Alif, ya, and waw. These are pronouns. They are afal, fail mudare, that have alif, waw, and ya as their pronoun. Remember that. First thing, they have alif, waw, and ya al-muqatiba as their pronoun. Number two, feature of these 5 af'al of failul mudari is that these fail mudari have noon as a sign of their marfu status. They are marfu bi sabutin noon. Is this clear to all of you? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So yajiduna waliyan. Waliyan is going to be your mafulun bihi, right? And if I asked you, what is a fragment here? What is a fragment here? Which fragment are we seeing here? Waliyan wala nasira. Is there any fragment? Murakkabe atf. Very well done. Very well done. It is murakkabe atfi. Or sometimes, some may call it murakkabe atfi, and that's fine. And murakkabe atf, I usually call it atf. So there is a connector fragment. Waliyan and nasiran are going to be of the same status. Now, what is connecting them together? What is connecting them together? The wow is the connector. Wow is the connector. And the la here, Sister Diba has already written, the la here is going to be Zaida. Sister Zarina is also saying this is Zaida. What is Zaida? What is the full name? La Zaida li Tokidin Nafi. La Zaida li Tokidin Nafi. What is important? What is required of La Zaida li Tokidin Nafi? What should be there? What are the conditions for La Zaida li Tokidin Nafi? There must be a wow right before it. Very good job. The wow right before it. There should be a nafi before it. Do you see nafi before it? There is negation happening. Where is nafi? Afsha, can you point out what is negation here? The first la is here causing negation. Very good job, Fashabri. Very well done, everyone. Very well done. And the third condition now. So you told me that it will have wow right before it. Number two, it will be preceded by negation, which was la yajiduna. The la in the before yajiduna is causing negation here. It is preceded by negation. The third condition, very important condition, what mufrid ism after it or shubhu jumla. Remember, and following it following it should be either a mufridism or shubu jumla. Do not forget that. If you don't find shubu jumla or mufridism after la, don't call it la zaida li toki dinafi. Okay? Will you all remember this? We are being prepared for a very big purpose. So I had a lot of hope in you guys. So please make sure that you inshallah, and I know you are capable of doing way more than what I expect of you, but inshallah, please keep that in mind, inshallah. Okay, now when you have so this is clear to all of you that this la is la zaida li tokidin nafi. Nasira is going to be matuf ala waliya, right? They are connected through murakkabat. So this one is mansoob because it's a mafulun bihi and its amil was yajiduna. If I ask you why is nasira nasb in status, what will be the answer? Because of at. Very good job. Very good job. Beautiful job. Now you have a verse coming next, which is starting with you focus on this part of the verse. Sunnatullahi allati qad qalat min qabl. So there is an idafa and there is sunnah. Sunnah, that is nasb status. When you have something, and this is it a new? Do you think there's a new beginning here? Right, very good job. There's a new beginning here. First of all, there is a new beginning here, and here Sunnallahu Sunnatallahi allati qad qalat min qabl. Allah has set a sunnah. This is the sunnah of Allah that has already passed, right? So when you have word that is nasb status without any amil, what should you consider? What will be the first thought? That it is a maf'ul for failil mahzuf. This is a maf'ul for failil mahzuf. And so is word sunnah. And sunnah is a masdar. It's a masdar. So it can be maf'ul mutlaq li failil mahzuf sunnan Allahi. Sunnan Allahu. Allah has set a sunnah, and the sunnah of Allah is that which has already passed. Right? And when you have sunnatullahi, it is an idafa. These two words are connected through idafa. And then comes your word allati. Allati. How will you connect allati? It is a mawsool. Allati, mawsool, right? It's a mawsool, and it is a sifa for word sunnah. Why is allati being used here? Why is allati used? It is a feminine. Why is feminine? Because sunnah is feminine. Very good job. So allati, when it comes to allati, allazi, among the types of asmaul mawsula, I will again ask you. This has been asked very many times in our sessions. Your ism mawsul, you can classify them into two types. They can be mukhtassa, mukhtassa, and mushtarika. If they are gender and number specific, which allati is, it is going to be ism mawsul mukhtassa. Okay, it is going to be ism mawsul that is mukhtassa. Keep that in mind, inshallah. Okay, do not forget that this one is ism mawsul that is mukhtassa. Allazi, allati, allatani, allazani, allazaini, allazina, allati, allai, all of them are mukhtassa. When it comes to ma and man, since they are not gender and number specific, they are called asmaul mawsula that are mushtarika. Everyone got it? Very good job, Dilruba. Very well done. Very proud of you. Okay, now let's go back to our work. So allati is a mawsul, so it must have silatul mawsul after it, right? Yes, Lynn, no, right, right, because it is mudaf. Yes, very good job, very good job. Diba has brought to our attention that now that we are calling sunnat Allahi as maful mutlaq li fail mahzuf, so what type of maful is it's going to be when your maful mutlaq is mawsuf or mudaf, when your maful mutlaq is mawsuf or mudaf, among the three types, which can be litokid, linnaw, lil adad. In that case, the purpose of maful mutlaq is linnaw, to describe, to denote, to give explanation, to bring description, to right. And here the amil is missing. Yes, amil is missing. Very good job. Amil is missing, and qad khalat min qabl. Now, yes, Deepa, we said it before, right? That here the maful mutlaq does not have amil mentioned, the fail is mahsub, right? Alhamdulillah, I hope that is clear. So sila is jumlatul failiya. Sila is jumlatul failiya, and it's going to be always la muhalla laha min al-i'rab, starting with qad. Qad is a harf. It has no i'rab. It is la muhalla laha min al-i'rab. It is a harf lit-tahqiq wa tawkid. In Quran, qad has been used for emphasis mainly, right? In 99.9999% of cases, qad has been used for emphasis. Khalat, hiya, khalat, looks like fail madin, right? Fail madin, wadamir, wadamir, mustatir, hiya, right? Well, file damir, mustatir, hiya. And if I ask you, this hiya is going back to what? What is the marjay for this hiya? Sunnah. Very good job. Very well done. Min qabl, jar wal majroor. Jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil. Right? Muta'alliq bil fail. And this jumla will have no i'rab because sila is always la muhalla. And then comes your waw. You can call this waw atf. And after waw atf, you can see lan. What have I taught you about this word lan? Is the harf, and give me explanation. It is harf nasb. Very good job. So first of all, harf nasiba lil mudare, litokid, for what? Litokidin nafi, right? Diruba. It is harf nasiba litokidin nafi, right? Al mustaqbil. So it is an harf that is harf istiqbal, harf nasiba, and it is nafi litokid. It is used for negation and for emphasized negation, right? So fail after it is going to be mansub, and here we see mudare mansub bil fatatu zahira, right? There is a tajida has a clear fatha, right? Then comes your lisunnati. Lisunnati, two words. It is li and sunnati, jar wal majroor, muta'alliq bil fi'l, right? And comes your lafzul jalala, that is majroor bil idafa, right? And it is majroor litazim because it is mudaf ilayhi, and tabdila is going to be your mafulun bihi for tajida. Any questions, concerns, anything that is confusing? This is simple, right? Everyone got it, I hope. Alhamdulillah. Let's go and continue with verse number 24. Alhamdulillah. So we have here verse 24. Wahua. Okay, you are calling it atf, or some are calling it istinaf. So, okay, let's just see what is the context of the ayah, and then we can always come back to wow. When you look at hua is going to be starting jumla ismiya. In jumla ismiya, you have mubtada and khabar. Hua can be your mubtada, right? It is your mubtada. And after hua comes your allazi. He is the one who. So allazi is a mawsul, is going to be your khabar, and it is going to be fi mahalli. Khabar is always rough in status. Khabar is always rough in status, right? Sister Husne Arab, can you please contact Sister Faiza? She manages the group, my dear sister. Please contact her. Faiza Ali. Okay. So allazi, again, if I ask you, is it ism mawsul mushtarika or mukhtassa? Is it gender and number specific, or is it general? It is mukhtassa, right? It is talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Mukhtassa. So allazi is your ism mawsul khabar, and after every ism mawsul there is a sila. What type of sila are we seeing here? Your sila can be jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya, shubhu jumla, right? Three types of sila can be there: jumla ismiya, jumla fi'liya, shubhu jumla. So here you are seeing jumla fi'liya, kaffa. Kaffa is your fi'l, kaffa, fi'l madin, right? No lamatul mudare, so fi'l madin, mabni al fatha, right? And it is huwa kaffa, and the damir is going back to the damir mustatir hua is going back to lafzul jalala mentioned before, right? Aydiyahum. He stopped. What did he stop? Aydiya. Their hands. And this is your mafulun bihi. Aydiya mafulun bihi. Ha is going to be majroor bil idafa. Mim is for masculine plural. Li jamai zakur. Right? So this aydiyahum is an idafa, and aydiya is mafulun bihi. Ha is majroor bil idafa, and mim is harf li jamai zakur. Ankum. Again, there is something, there is a word that is made up of two words, an and kum, jar wal majroor, muta'alliq bil fail, right? Wow is going to be at, and idea. Now idea. Give me the i'rab for idea now. The first one was mafulun bihi. The second one, which is after wow, you are going to call it sharing the same status, but it's going to be called matuf, as Afsha has typed. The answer is it is matuf ala idea home, but idea is just matuf, and it is mansub bil atf. It is mansub bil atf, right? And kaf is your damirul khitab, and it is again majroor bil idafa, and mim is for masculine plural, right? Li jamai zakur anhum. Again, jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fail, right? Bi batani, bi batani. Again, jar wal majroor, right? Batani makkata. How are these two words together? How are these two words connected? Batani makkata. There is an idafa. What happened to makkata? What have you learned about your mudaf ilayhi? How should be your mudaf ilayhi? It should be jar. So what happened to Makkah? What is the problem with Makkah? It is partly flexible. The class is saying it is partly flexible, and I agree with them. Why is this word Makkah partly flexible? It is a name. Okay, it is a name. Is every name going to be partly flexible? It is a name. There is when a word is a name. No. Don't call it non-Arab. Don't call it non-Arab. When a word is a name, when a word is a name, there should be another reason for it to be partly flexible. Okay, so there should be another reason. So there is another reason for this word. Is it starting from, okay, starting from here? It's not a combination, so it's not like bal baka. No, right? It is it is not ziyadatul alif noon like Imran, Usman, Luqman. It is not. It is Makkah, so it is right there, Makkah. So it is not foreign name. It is not abbreviated version of anything. It is not on a pattern of a word that spells like a fail, like word like Ahmadu, Yazidu, Yahya, right? So what is left here? How do we treat other cities in terms of gender? How are they treated? The cities, they are treated feminine. And anyways, this word is muannas, lafzan, and manan, right? This is a word that is feminine, lafzan and manan. Remember that, because this is ism alam that made it mamnu min as-sarf. The second reason that this word is partly flexible is the word is feminine in meaning and wording, right? How is it feminine in wording? There is a tamarbhuta, and manan means that we always treat Makkah, or and if there was any other city as well. If there was any other city, it would be treated as feminine as well, right? Whether or not it has tamarbhuta or not, right? So if it is Karachi, it is going to be treated feminine because it is there will be an it's the name of the city, right? Keep that in mind. Yes, there is an exception of Egypt. Yes, absolutely, but yeah, that word is I think one of the few exceptions, right? You are absolutely right, Sister Zarina. I 100% agree with you. So bibatani makkata, everyone understands why. What are the two reasons for word makkah to be partly flexible? Name and a feminine name, right? The two reasons must be there. When you tell me that any name is feminine, or any name is partly flexible, you must keep in mind now by this time, because we have started doing these mamnu min as-sarf business when we were learning our Surah Taha. So it's been quite a number of sessions that have passed in between Surah Taha, right? Yes, yes, and that is an exception. The Egypt is only, but Egypt is an exception in terms of the fact that it is a three-lettered word. If your word is a name, which is a three-lettered word, but has a sukoon in the middle letter, that word becomes fully flexible, right? Like Ad, like Nuh, like Lut, but it becomes fully flexible. But Misr is is go, go, Misr is not fully flexible, is not fully flexible despite having a sukoon, right? It is not fully flexible despite having a sukoon. It is partly flexible. It is still partly flexible despite having a sukoon, because you will find other words as well in Quran. Not in Quran, in Arabic, that are three lettered with a sukoon in the middle, but they will be still treated as partly flexible. But that's another exception. Okay, so Egypt exception is that it is supposed to be fully flexible because of the sukoon in the middle of Misr, but it is partly flexible in Quran, right? Despite having a sukoon on the middle letter. And there are other words of that nature that are three lettered with the sukoon in the middle in Arabic language that are partly flexible as well. Okay, but for now, keep in mind when you are dealing with a name, and a name and you have to determine the flexibility of the name, you must have two reasons for it to be mamnu min as. Okay, will you all remember that? Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now we'll go to Mim Badi. Again there is after something happened. So Min Badi is again a jar wal majroor shubhu jumla muta'alliq bil fail, right? He stopped their hands from you all and your hands from them in the belly of Makkah. And how will I translate this? Let me see how Sahih International has done so. Let me just quickly, because I what will be the exact wording for button? Let's see here. So in the area, within the area of Makkah. Okay, now comes Mim Badi, that is also Jar wal Majroor. Now, Badi, what type of a word is Badi? Whenever you see Qabla, Bada, Takhta, Fawqa, what do you expect to see after them? They are not harf, they are isms. They are your zarf, right? Those are your zarf. And after your zarf, you expect to see Mudaf ilayhi, right? Mudaf ilayhi. No, no, no. Do you expect to see Jumla after Badi? Or do you expect to see ism after badi, mufrad ism after badi? Mostly you will expect to see a mufrad ism, because badi is a word that is fully flexible. You expect to see only jumla after a zarf that is non-flexible. Remember that. When a zarf is non-flexible, mabni, in that case you expect to see only a sentence after it. For the words that are flexible, you expect to see NSM after them most of the time, but you have learned some words that are fully flexible, like hina and yoma, that can have a mufridism after them as their mudaf ilayhi, and they can also have a sentence as their mudaf ilayhi as well in Quran. Keep that in mind. Now ba'di is ba'di. So here an asfara, an is your, what type of an is this? Diba has her answer ready. Alhamdulillah. Beautiful job, Diba. So this is an masdariya. An masdariya. And an masdariya is hat nasb. And this also pushes the meaning to future. Remember, it has a connotation of future. Remember that, okay? And then comes your asfara. Asfara is going to be, what type of word is asfara? Nahin, it is here, it is the not a tabdeel, it is a fail. It is fail madin. It is fail madin. It is fail madin. And fail madin wal file damir mustatir hua yaudu ala lafzul jalala. Again, it is going back to lafzul jalala. After he gave victory, kum, to you all. Kum is mafulun bihi. Kaful khitab is mabni ala dam fi mahalli nasb mafulun bihi. Mim is again mimul jama. And alayhim is jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fi'l asfara. Together, this is sila of an masdariya. This is sila of an masdariya. What will be the status of this sila to have masdari an? Every sila is la muhalla laha min al i'rab, and so is going to be asfarakum alayhim. But when I join an asfarakum alayhim, it becomes masdarul muawwal. It becomes one ism. It starts to behave like one ism, mufrad ism, and it is going to be jar. Why so? Because it is mudaf mudaf ilayhi for badi, right? It is fi mahalli jar mudaf ilayhi. Masdarul muawwal is fi mahalli jar mudaf ilayhi for word badi. Okay, I think wakana Allahu, wow, you can treat it as um atf, okay, or you want to istinaf, because usually when you have sentences like at the end, usually they come up as istinaf as well, so you can treat it as istinaf. And kana Allahu, kana fil naqis nasikh, right? And ismu kana is lafzul jalala. Bima ta'maluna is going to be jar wal majroor متعلق بالفعل. Bima is bima, and it is going to be ma mausula, and you can call ta'maluna um, sila, and it's going to be la mahalla laha min al i'rab. When I look inside sila, my sila is जुमला फेलिया फेल मुदारे मरफू बिसबूत नून वलफाइल दमीर मुत्तसिल बारिज वाविल जमाआ मबनी अल सुकून फी महल्ली रफा, right? And ta here is my alamatul mudare, right? It is a sign of mudare. And basirun is qabru kana mansoob, and that is why, because it changes the i'rab of qabr. Kana is from af'alun nasikha, right? Why do we call kana nasikh? Because it changed the i'rab. Why is it called naqis? Naqis, it is called naqis because it does not have an action, right? It has to have a khabar to convey a complete meaning, right? No action is making it naqis, because for fail it should have ATP, action time pronoun. There is no action, that is why it is behaving as fail naqis. And with that I will have to end the session. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Inshallah, we will catch up next Wednesday, and we may have some announcements to make. Inshallah, you will know. And I hope you find you have found this practice beneficial for yourselves. So take care of yourselves. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.